the other flags that are going to come out, the war flag for mages or the war flag for healers, those could be interesting.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
What is up, heroes of Dominion? My name is Charlie. This is Hero War Central, and in this video I'm going to talk a little bit about why the war flag of Swift Warriors is not going to be good for everyone. And one of the biggest questions that we have right now is, does this flag apply to heroes who have warrior as their subclass? And what do I mean by that? Well, if you take a look at a hero like Kark, my boy Kark, he is a warrior, main role warrior, okay? But if you take a look at a hero like Galahad, Galahad is main role tank, additional role warrior, all right? So does the haste or the speed up buff work for Galahad? It's a big question. We'll get that answered as soon as we can. I've already asked the community managers about it. Hopefully we get an answer soon. But I wanted to discuss the way that this is worded. The cooldowns for warriors speeds up skill cooldowns of warriors by 5%. What does that actually mean? Well, it is not the hero's ultimate ability, all right? This ability is based on the hero's energy, with some exception, like, Astrid and Lucas and Isaac, for example. And there might be some heroes in the future that don't gain energy the standard way either. But generally speaking, you gain energy by performing an attack, taking damage, or, killing an enemy hero. Those are the main kind of ways that you can gain energy. Of course, there's bonus ways and all of that. That is not going to be impacted by this 5% haste. It is not. The energy gain is going to be the same. It's not 5% energy gain. It's just not. It's going to be the same as it always has been. And if you want to learn a little bit more about that, I'll have a video linked in the description for you to take a look at to learn about how energy gain actually works. But the green, blue, and violet abilities is actually what it's referencing. And it doesn't impact all green, blue, and violet abilities. It only impacts those that are active abilities. Some of them are passive abilities. So if we take a look at Negator of Laws here, opens a interdimensional rift that can block enemy physical attacks for 8 seconds. The hero gets energy for each attack blocked. This is an example of an active ability. This ability has a set cooldown, a duration between the first time Kark uses it and the second time. Let's say hypothetically it's every 12 seconds. Let's say, actually, let's make it easier. Let's just say it's every 10 seconds, okay? So every 10 seconds, Kark uses this ability, and I'm not sure what it is. It might be 16 seconds. I don't really know. So every 10 seconds, Kark uses the Negator of Laws. 5% faster is 0.5 seconds. 10% faster would be 1 second off, right? So 0.5 is 5% of 10 seconds. So half of a second faster is when this ability will activate. And every subsequent activation of this ability, this shield, will happen at that same 9.5 second duration window, right? Now, the blue ability, this modifies an existing action, all right? So while Kark is alive, enemies that get knocked up in the air, they take damage, okay? If the enemy is equal to or less than 130, Kark deals double damage. This doesn't happen. This doesn't activate. This doesn't create an action. The ultimate ability is what knocks enemies into the air. This just causes damage when enemies are knocked into the air. You see the difference? It's always on. It's not activated. Same thing with this violet ability. Attacks against enemies thrown into the air heal the hero for a fraction of the damage dealt. This is not an active ability. This is a passive modifier to an existing ability. Whenever an enemy is knocked in the air, they get dealt damage from deadly tendrils. When they're dealt damage with deadly tendrils, Kark gets 27.5% of that healing back. So I use Kark as an example, and a lot of heroes are just like this. Let's take specifically those heroes that are main class warrior. You can take a look at the hero wish list, go to the warrior tree, and there are 7. There are 7 here that you can take a look at. All of them are useful. Some of them are used more than others. You're going to use some in PvP more. You're going to use some in the city of Asgard more. But the top damage dealers that people are using right now are not going to be impacted by this ability a lot. By this flag, I should say, this 5% bonus haste a lot. The other more popular hero in Ishmael, only has one active ability as well, and that's his dodge ability. Again, ultimates, they're not sped up by any haste or speed up effects at all. This ability is activated and he dodges things for 6 seconds. He gains bonus energy. Dark Craft adds vampirism all of the time. It's a passive ability to Ishmael, and this right here, all of the time, every third attack stuns an enemy. So again, only one ability is modified by that 5% haste, and we don't know 100% what the duration and cooldown of the gap between ability uses here, so we're not sure how much that 5% is actually impacting it, but it's a half a second per 10 seconds. If it's a 20-second delay between Phantom 1 and Phantom 2 during a fight, then you're going to gain an extra 1 second between. So think about how impactful that might actually be. It might impact some timings, it might not. Yasmin actually has 0 active abilities. 0 chance that flag affects Yasmin at all. So the green ability, this is activated when she uses her ult, right? It's not activated at any other time throughout the fight, only whenever she uses her ultimate. This ability is activated when she crits an enemy, right? When Yasmin critical hits an enemy, they are poisoned. That is active all the time. That's a passive ability. It doesn't have an internal cooldown. And finally, the Violet ability. This is active 100% of the time as well. Anytime that there's poison on an enemy, they get their healing gets reduced. Yasmin does not benefit from the flag whatsoever. Kayla does not benefit from the flag whatsoever. The new warrior flag has 0 impact on Kayla. The green ability here is simply a modifier to her existing basic attacks. It's not an active ability. She doesn't use it mid-battle and then another 10 seconds goes by and then she uses it again. Every time she uses a basic attack, every single time, that basic attack does an extra effect because of this green ability. This blue ability is a health impacted skill, all right? It's based on her health. It's not based on a timer or anything like that. The flag doesn't impact the blue ability at all. And her Violet ability is impacted by her health as well. When she stops burning, she becomes overheated. She gains bonus armor and magic defense while overheated. So she uses her jump across to the other side. She gets damaged to a point where she has to jump back. She gets the bonus armor and magic defense. None of that has an internal cooldown. None of that has a duration. It's set by her health. The flag does not impact Kayla at all. Tristan's green ability will be sped up by that flag. Tristan may be the most impacted hero of all of them, but I'll show you probably a better example in just a second. The blue ability will be sped up by that war flag. Absolutely, it will happen more frequently. The Violet ability, however, is completely passive. It's not impacted by any timers whatsoever. So the flag for warriors will impact Tristan's green and blue ability. Now, Qing Mao, in my opinion, is the biggest winner of all of the warriors having to do with this 5% haste bonus. Her green ability blinds the entire enemy front line, and that happening more frequently is absolutely incredible, especially if you're going up against a physical attacking team. And this blue ability right here does a chunk of pure damage to the enemy's number one hero, either a tank or an off tank, what have you. This ability happening more frequently is absolutely incredible as well. Her Violet ability is passive, and of course the ultimate ability is based on energy. Last but not least, Elmir. He's interesting. I actually really like Elmir. I just don't think he's that impactful in the meta right now. Maybe someday, but the flag that speeds up Warrior's abilities is only going to impact his green ability. This is the one where he clones himself. The blue ability allows the clones to attack, and the Violet ability allows him to have more clones active at once. So he will clone himself more frequently, which could be beneficial. That could be nice, though I'm not sure how extra clones attacking the enemy tank with physical damage is going to be in like I said, in today's meta, but you never know. It's pretty good. You know, what remains to be seen is, do the other heroes that have a warrior subclass, do they get impacted by this flag? And if so, you know, who is going to be the big winners and the big losers? I'm not going to go through all of them. I think Galahad will be huge. I think Galahad with that flag is going to be absolutely incredible because of the way his ascension abilities work. We'll have to take a look at Astrid and Lucas because their subclass is warrior, and I guess those two are really it. I thought Zhu was a warrior subclass for a second there, but I guess not. So I will be chasing this flag because I like to collect everything that I can having to do with this game. When the new Mysterious Island goes live here in about 9 hours or so, we're gonna have an opportunity to chase the new flag up here in the top right hand corner. I'm assuming that it's gonna be up there. It's gonna take some moves to get there. I haven't counted them out just yet, but it's gonna take take a little while. I don't know that anybody has enough saved up moves to get to this, so hopefully we can do some testing with it in the future. I just don't think it's going to be that great. I just don't. Now, the other flags that are going to come out, the war flag for mages or the war flag for healers, those could be interesting. Those could actually be impactful, as long as it's not just a basic 5% haste on cooldown abilities. As long as it's nothing like that, hopefully it's actually an interesting pattern, or an interesting flag to use. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you are interested in learning about the current or the September Mysterious Island, I'll have that linked in the description. This blog post linked in the description box down below. I love you all. Good luck in Dominion.